Welcome back to my channel. Oh, I'm so excited. So my friend Denise has been talking about and wanting a room makeover for as long as I've known her. 8 years. She felt like her room was never really somewhere she wanted to spend any time. Your mood can drastically be affected by the space that you're in. So if you spend a lot of time in a room that you don't like or isn't your style or isn't inspiring, especially if you're a creative person, you're not gonna be like very motivated to do anything. So she's been wanting it for a long time. So we've been talking about it like seriously over the last like 3 weeks or a month, and it's finally here. We've been working so hard on it, and I can't wait to show you everything that we've done in this 2-part series. So just like I did with my bedroom makeover last month, and if you haven't checked those out, I'll link them so that you guys can. For her bedroom makeover, we are doing bohemian inspired decor and design and aesthetic. We try to keep the complete bedroom makeover and all of the DIYs that we were doing in it on a serious budget. So you're gonna see at the end of each of these DIYs that I cost out how much each one of them was in terms of supplies, everything that we needed to make the DIYs, and you're gonna see that nothing cost over $47 to make. So cool. So this is part 1 of a 2-part series. In this video, I'm going to show you all of the larger scale DIY projects that we worked on. And then in part 2 of this series, you will see the complete transformation of her bedroom before and after, what we kept, what we got rid of, the design process, mood boards, inspiration, painting, everything. Literally everything. So let's get into these DIYs. So the first DIY that we're gonna do in this room is inspired by a bohemian style rope ottoman. So in these inspiration pictures that I found, they had these rope ottomans that they would stack or use as side tables or just as ottomans for the floors. So they're really versatile. We can definitely do these for cheaper than buying them at the store. So I went to a local tire shop where I actually get my tires from for my car, and just went and was like, you know, I'm doing a project for my backyard, and I just need some like tires that you're gonna throw away. Do you have any that you're gonna be recycling soon? And he was like, yeah, sure, come over. We are recycling them today, so it makes me feel better that 2 of them are not going wherever they're sending them. I picked up two tires, same size, because I actually want to stack them on top of each other. And then we're going to be using this sisal rope, a 1/2 inch thick, and each of these are 50 feet. So I don't know how to do the math on this whole situation and determine how much we actually need. I'll let you know exactly how much you need for this specific size tire after I do it. And then you're also going to need another form of like nylon rope. First thing I did was clean the tires. Now we are ready to wrap our clothesline around the tire. So we are gonna take the clothesline and wrap it around the side of the one side of the tire and tie a strong knot going towards the center, so it's kind of hidden. And we're gonna cross the rope over to the other side, under, going really tight, and just keep crisscrossing until we have a really sturdy platform for our rope to sit on, and the top is really sturdy, and tie a really good knot to finish it off. Next, we're gonna be using our sisal rope in a 1/2 inch thick and a hot glue gun. We're gonna be starting from the center and basically looping the rope around itself all the way around the top and then the sides of our tire. So I'm gonna start by actually hot gluing the rope to itself to kind of start the spiral before I put it on the tire, because I think that'll be easiest. And then hot gluing it down right in the center. As you go around, you're not only gonna be hot gluing the rope to the white rope that we have here, but also the rope to itself, so it's double secure. So when you get to the end of the first bolt of rope, we're just gonna hot glue it off as flat as we can, and then gluing the new bolt of rope right next to it, just joining it up. if you find it difficult to find the center of your tire to start your rope in the center, you can always start your rope at the very bottom of your tire and work your way up so that it matches up in the center perfectly. Okay, so this took me about an hour and a half to put all the rope on, and it took double the amount of rope that I thought it was going to. So for a 22-inch tire, you need 4 bolts of that rope. They were each 50 feet. So you're gonna need 200 feet. I think it turned out really good. So the next DIY that I wanted to work on for this room was kind of a large scale wall hanging, but I kind of had this vision in my mind of a wall hanging I want to do I've actually never seen before. These are some of the inspiration pictures that I actually found to show Denise what I kind of wanted to make for the room. I used lots of bright colors, and I really wanted to keep this style bohemian style. So I wanted to use lots of neutral tones, shredded jersey knit to create a lot of texture and movement in this wall hanging. So this is going to be a new one for both of us. So for the supplies that we're going to need for this particular project, so I went to FIDM, the Fashion Institute in downtown Los Angeles, for college, and I remember we had a scholarship store on campus that was open to the public, and picked up some off-white jersey knit fabric for $1 a yard, which is a total steal. So we picked up 8 yards of jersey knit from the scholarship store, and then Kinsley and I headed to Lowe's to shop for the wood pieces for this project. So what you're gonna need is a 5-foot long plywood, 2 smaller pieces, and then 2 3/4-inch wooden dowels, 58.5 inches long. Some wood stain, and I'm using a special walnut color, which I love. Jersey knit fabric, I have 8 yards, and some tan fabric dye that I picked up from Joann's. So first we're gonna get started on staining all of the wood pieces so they can dry really well. So using the special walnut wood stain, I'm just gonna use a paper towel and going with the grain, so where you can see the lines in the wood, you're just gonna wipe the stain over all of the wood and let it dry really well. Next, we're going to be assembling the top part and the brace of our wall hanging. So the 2 4-inch side blocks are going to become our side pieces, and we're going to screw in the dowels to those side pieces using my favorite screws that actually need a special bit. And then just using a drill, we're going to drill in all the way to the back of this wood piece first so that the little pointies stick out. And then we're gonna finish screwing the dowels into the side pieces on both sides. Next, we're gonna lay out our jersey knit fabric and begin cutting strips of fabric, basically. So I'm doing each of these strips 65 inches long, and I can always trim later. So I just folded up the fabric so that it was easier to cut, and then I'm simply cutting just strips and strips in different widths so that there's lots of variety in the widths. You can see that I have basically 4 different sizes of fabric, and then I'm gonna take those and separate them into 4 stacks, mixing the different sizes so that we can begin dyeing. So what we're gonna use to dye our fabric is a 3-gallon bucket of hot water. You're gonna wet all of your first stack of fabric, your dye, 1/4 cup of salt, some stirrers, I just use these wooden stirrers, and some gloves. So taking our dye, we're gonna pour half of the bottle into our hot water. And I just eyeballed it. Then we're gonna pour in our salt and mix it all together. It's pretty hot, so don't burn yourself. Next, we're gonna spread out our fabric that's already pre-wet. The first batch of fabric isn't gonna stay in there very long. We're just gonna put it all in, swish it around, and then pick it out, wring it dry, and then put it back into our bowl. This is our lighter color of the dye. For our next batch of dye, we're gonna be leaving that in for 5 minutes. So it's the same dye that we used before. We're just gonna leave it a little longer so it gets a little darker. After it's gotten to 5 minutes, we're just going to do the same process, take it out, wring it out, and I really like this color actually. Wring it out and put it back into our bowl and hang it up to dry. For our final color, I'm gonna add a splash more dye just because I feel like I took a lot of it out. Stir it up and then leave this batch of fabric in there for 15 minutes or longer until I get the desired color. And here are our final colors. We left a stack of the natural jersey knit as it was, this light kind of caramel color, a little bit of a latte color, and then a dark cocoa color, which I love the variation. I wish the middle one was a little darker, but I think it's okay. Now it's time to start assembling our wall hanging. So we're gonna take our wooden dowel structure that we built, and then taking the shorter end of the fabric, we're gonna be hot gluing these in all different ways and all different combinations, really randomly placed in terms of color, to our wooden dowel. So the idea is to use the larger pieces of fabric, the wider pieces, on the back bar, and then the skinnier pieces of fabric in the front. So that way it creates a lot of dimension and it creates a really solid sheet of fabric. I found that it's actually gonna be easier for me to hang this wall hanging up to finish gluing everything on. So I'm just using these keyhole fasteners that I picked up from Lowe's and screwing them into the back of the 4-inch wide brace that we created. And then using the same screws from before that I love, I'm gonna be screwing those into the wall and hanging it up. I put the screw in the wrong place. Measure from the wrong place, so measure right, kids. Measure right. Now I have to fix my mistake and rehang this piece up, and I can continue to hot glue all of the pieces to the bars just randomly. I didn't have any real math behind this or plan, just wherever I thought the color needed to be, or it needed to be darker in some places or lighter in some places, I just kept hot gluing and until I had everything that I needed. This wall hanging took about 50 pieces of fabric. So we have 50 strands total going up on this wall hanging. After all of the fabric is hot glued onto our bars, our dowels, we are going to be putting the finishing touches on the frame. So our larger piece of wood that we have that's 5 foot long, we're going to be hammering that in right on top of those 4-inch wide pieces. So I just set it right on top and hammered it in. One of the DIYs for this room, we definitely wanted to do a dresser. Dressers can be really expensive if you buy them brand new, so we decided to take a look at some of the thrift stores around LA and actually find one that was a great price and in decent shape that we could make better and more like our inspiration, very bohemian and raw looking, and we found this dresser. Now, we know that it's IKEA or something like that, but it was still in pretty good shape, but it was the perfect size for the room, and when we're done with it, yeah, that's how it's gonna be, that good. So we're gonna sand it down and we're gonna put this special walnut stain on it. You guys know I love this color stain. I used it in my bedroom makeover for my end tables. Also, we're going to be painting all of the knobs a gold color, and you'll see the vibe that we have in the room in part 2 of this series. So I'm gonna get started taking all these drawers out and sanding it down. So William previously owned this dresser. That is so cute. We appreciate you. It's memories. So on the knobs for these dressers, we're actually going to be spray painting them this satin bronze to match some other things that we're doing in the room. This dresser has been a labor of love. It's been like 3 days of sanding this other color gray off, but Denise has been working tirelessly on this dresser. It's so crazy, but we're almost there. So we've decided that all of our hard work is not wasted. It looks so pretty. I hope you guys enjoyed these larger scale bohemian inspired room decor DIYs, and if you did, definitely give it a thumbs up below and let me know in the comments below which one was your favorite, or maybe you liked them all. Let me know in the comments, and you guys are not gonna want to miss part 2 of this boho bedroom makeover series, where I show you the complete transformation before and after, edgy take on bohemian style. So definitely hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell so you know exactly when I post, because that video is coming this Sunday. I will see you guys on Sunday. Bye guys. You guys know